right, so let's finish strong here. Part 3 of how to achieve true freedom in your business. And if you missed part 1 or 2, this part 3 won't make a whole lot of sense if you missed 1 or 2. So make sure you jump back a couple episodes and you dig into those parts first. They are definitely building on each other. So we have been through, let's do a quick review of what we've been through. We're basically breaking down the process that we call the Business Freedom Planner. It's a proprietary planning process we use for our members. We talked about restating annual goals. We talked about the 4 questions that you ask yourself at the beginning of every quarter. We talked about brainstorming everything you could do in your business. We talked about committing to a handful of rocks every quarter and how we make them smarter. We talked about bridging the gap on those rocks. And then we talked about you must delegate to elevate, and high passion, high pay, low passion, high pay, high passion, low pay, low passion, low pay, and what to do to eliminate the low pay activities from your plate so you can elevate in your business in terms of working less hours, making more money, and enduring less stress. So let's dig into the weekly cadence. So imagine we're in this quarter. There's 13 weeks in a quarter. You have 13 chances to do a weekly review. And basically, you're just going to answer 4 questions as a weekly review. My biggest wins, you're writing down the 3 to 5 major accomplishments. Last week commitments, so we'll get to the commitments here in a second. Did you follow through in the commitments you made last week against those rocks that you committed to achieving this quarter? Then you ask yourself what's working and what's not working, in the business, in your personal life, and what should you start or stop doing? What will you keep, improve, start, or stop doing? That's the 4 questions you ask yourself every week. I do this either Sunday evening. Sometimes I have a 90-minute time block on Monday morning where I have time set aside to be able to do this. Really, really important. On the other side of it is the weekly commitments, asking yourself, what could I do? And for the 3 to 5 rocks that you chose for the quarter, you're going to list out those rocks and the action steps that remain in order to crush those rocks, to complete those projects. So you just list each rock and then 1 through 5 to 7 tasks, action items that you need to do to complete those rocks. And then from there, you're going to look at all of those action items, potential action items as they relate to the rocks, and you're going to make your weekly commitments. 5 to 7 commitments that you're going to make for the coming week, things that you're going to accomplish against the rocks that you said you were going to do this quarter. And that's it. That process probably takes about a half hour. If you're really doing it, maybe 30 to 45 minutes once a week, you're going to do your weekly review, which is looking back a week, and then make your weekly commitments, which is for the week that follows. That's a weekly process. Then you fall into a daily process. Hopefully it's not 7 days a week. Hopefully it's only 5 days a week, where you're a very specific startup to the day, how you work your day, and how you close your day. So we always start every day in gratitude. 3 things you're grateful for. You just list them. What will I do to make today great? The intention for the day. Write 3 things you're going to do specifically to make today great. These don't have to be task list items. More like, I'm going to love my family well today. I'm going to go for a long run. I'm going to eat and hydrate, eat well and hydrate today, like intention. I'm going to make sure my wife knows that I love her. I'm going to serve her in some way, so intention. And then I write affirmations. I'm courageous and confident in Christ. That one is I gotta get in a rut with that one. To me, that is meaningful. Your affirmation could be, I'm getting stronger and better every day. That's a Tony Robbins one. I forget exactly how he mentioned it, but it's just something depending on where you are in that moment. That's an affirmation. Like, I can absolutely build a business that gives me freedom versus what I have now. Like, it's stuff like that. From there, you're moving on to your top 3. You're listing your 3 most important tasks against those weekly commitments you made. So before the day even starts, you're making a commitment to crushing these 3 tasks. And then you put those tasks in your calendar. So you make sure you actually have time in your calendar to do them. Then you can have an ongoing task list throughout the day, and you kind of take notes through the day. But those 4 things are basically how you start your day. Then at the end of the day, we want to build in this psychology of fulfillment and contentment. So you're writing down, you're journaling 3 amazing things that happened today. And then there's an awareness part of this too. You're asking yourself the question, where was I uncomfortable today? How could I have made today even better? And you're doing that every day. I do this 7 days a week. Even though I don't work 7 days a week, I do this 7 days a week. So you're following that weekly and daily process for the whole quarter. And at the end of the quarter, we have time for reflection. So we call this take time to reflect on the past quarter, where we're just most memorable, writing down the most memorable experiences for the quarter. This is part of your quarterly process. You're getting ready for a new quarter, but you're also sort of saying goodbye to the quarter that just happened. So most memorable, biggest lessons, write down the biggest lessons you've learned this past quarter. Assess progress. Are you happy with how you spent your time and with your progress in the last quarter? If not, why? Your personal growth, how are you different this quarter versus last quarter? Improvements, name 3 things you can improve on this coming quarter and include specific actions. Maybe it's daily routine. Maybe it's, you've got to make a hire or improve a system, stuff like that. And then gratitude. What or who are you especially grateful for this past quarter? And that ends the process. That is the business freedom planning process. And it straight up answers the question of, how do I actually achieve true freedom in my business? That's where the rubber meets the road is with that business freedom planner, which is the 90-day of the 3-1-90 that we teach, which is 3-year vision, 1-year plan, 90-day world. So my friends, that wraps up part 3. As I've said in the last couple episodes, if you're at the point in your journey where it's just not equating the time, money, stress, like you're putting too much time in, maybe the money's good, maybe it's not good, but the trade-off with time and stress is kind of out of whack, and you're constantly running at a level of stress that's not sustainable. That's where we come in, and we do a really good job to help you take down your hours, increase your income at the same time, and take down your stress. And so if you're in that mode right now where what you're doing is not sustainable and you can't grow anymore because it's all you haven't set up your team properly, or you're just launching a team, it doesn't really matter where you are in your journey. All you can do is go to realestatebschool.com. There's free resources there, but you can also book in for a business growth strategy session. And it's just a conversation with me or one of my coaches about your business, specifically where you are today, where you want to be in 3 years, and what's holding you back. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are the obstacles that you're seeing in the way of you growing? And if a conversation makes sense about Real Estate B School, we will have it. If it doesn't, that's okay. We're launching a lower level program here in just about a week, and I'm super excited about it. So stay tuned for that. And as I always say, much love and respect, and we'll talk to you soon.